Have you experienced anything supernatural?
Yes, many things supernatural. Do you want me to
Elaborate? Yeah.
I have a video that was on your thing. Is that the one you want to talk about, or do you have
There's
another
many.
one?
I mean, there's probably 3 I tell all the time.
Okay, tell us.
Okay, so just one in my book, chapter 6, all about deathbed phenomena. So their stories are all throughout, but like there's actual deathbed phenomena that happens at the end of life that I never would have believed as an ICU nurse. I am a woman of science and rational thinking, I suppose, but then after a while, you can't unsee what you see. And one of the things that happens at end of life, usually about a month before someone dies, almost everybody will experience some kind of deathbed phenomena. One of the second most seen is visioning, so like seeing dead relatives, dead pets, dead friends.
You're seeing it, or the person
dying.
How do you know they're seeing it?
They tell you.
They tell you.
Okay.
And they're usually the craziest part is that they are alert and oriented. They are not on their last breath saying this. They are talking and saying, "My dad came to me last night and said he's gonna come get me soon, but not to worry, and just to hang out for now, and I feel great about it." Like that's happened to me so many. I can't count how many times that's happened to me. But the most craziest things are, one, I feel like I've had this experience that I now know is called a shared death experience. I didn't know it was called that at the time. It was with a young patient. He was dying basically alone. He didn't have very many friends or family. He had a lot of anxiety, and he had a hoarding issue, all these things in his life, right, that we helped at his end of his life. He allowed us to help him for some reason. It's like I think he hit a bottom when he was dying, and he allowed us to like clear out his apartment, and like he was really open to talking about how he felt, which was mostly scared. And the whole team really got to know this man very well, and he lived longer than we thought, which is still not long, 6 to 9 months, something like that, but he lived a long time for us. And we all got to know him really well. At the very end of his days, I could tell he was dying, because you get good at like knowing he was going to die that day when I saw him. And he was unconscious, of course. And I had a continuous care nurse in the home, meaning a nurse that was going to be with him 24/7. And I said, "Can you text me when he dies? I just want to know. She's like, "Of course." So I say my goodbyes to him, like kind of silently in my head, and I go to my car. And I wasn't really sad because I feel like we did a good job for him. He had a good end of life, and he was having a good actively dying. He was very comfortable. He looked very comfortable. So I just sort of said my goodbyes and left and sat in my car just for a second and was looking at his apartment. And again, saying my final goodbyes because this guy really meant a lot to me. And suddenly, in my head, I could hear his voice, like clear as day. And I could feel something. He was making me feel this feeling of like freedom and like ultimate relief and kind of like excitement. It's hard for me not to smile when I'm talking about it because it felt like that. It was like excitement and joy. And he was saying my name going, "Oh my gosh, Julie. Oh my gosh, Julie. I can't believe this. If I only would have known." He just kept saying that. "If I only would have known." And the feeling he gave me was, it makes me want to cry every time I tell it because it was so powerful. If I only would have known how good this is, I would never have been afraid. I would never have been afraid, because he used to talk about it all the time. Not like, "Oh, I'm so afraid," but just sort of like, "I wonder what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen."
Afraid.
Right.
Yeah,
all of us are afraid. Right. So he just kept saying, "If I only would have known, if I only would have known." And I felt this feeling of like him smiling and almost like soaring, and this ultimate freedom that I know he didn't really feel in his day-to-day life when he lived here, because he used to talk about it, how he used to feel so heavy and so anxiety, which I really relate to. I have a lot of that in my life as well. So to have him have these feelings and saying, "Oh my gosh, Julie, if I only would have known, if I only would have known." And he didn't say much except for that. If I only would have known how good this is, I wouldn't have been so afraid. And I couldn't help but start weeping in my car. It was like I was taken out of my car and like gone somewhere else. And then all of a sudden, it stopped. And I was kind of back in my car, and I was done crying, like, what the hell was that? And my phone, kind of like back in reality, my phone beeped. I got a text, and I looked at my phone, and it was the nurse inside saying, "So-and-so just died." And I thought, I know, because he just showed me. He just showed me what it was like. And of course, I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell a soul, except for my best friend, Jenny, who I feel like wouldn't think I was crazy. For years and years and years and years. And even when I was on social media, for a whole year, I think I never said anything supernatural on my channel. I wanted to be like just always talking about the facts. And then finally everyone kept asking me, "Well, why aren't you afraid? Why aren't you afraid? What makes you not afraid?" And finally I just said, "You know what? Screw it. I'm going to tell people why." And that's one of the main reasons why. And a couple of things like that have happened. I feel like I've seen an angel. It's a whole other story. I feel like I witnessed a miracle. So things like that have happened. I still don't really fear death because of biology, the way I see the body being built to die, and the body being able to like help us die biologically, which I think is also a miracle.